I'm here with Chris Haig today, having an interview in my conservatory. You may recognise Chris. Chris had a brief spot on David Cameron's recent video, his recent election video, and Chris has been affectionately known as the White Van Man. Now, you were only on for 30 seconds, Chris, with David Cameron, and he sort of patted you on the back. But there's a little bit more to it than that, isn't there?
Yeah, there is, Nick. I was in Penistone near Sheffield on the Thursday afternoon at about 10 o'clock when Mr Cameron walked past me and said hello, and I thought, oof, blooming heck, David Cameron. So I instantly thought, well, I want to ask him a question about the BNP. So I rushed back and saw one of his entourage, and they, I said to them I'd like to ask him a question, and they said, well, he's slightly busy. And I said, well, I'd like to ask him about the BNP. And at that point, the lad said, stop there, I'll find him for you. My first question to David Cameron basically was, I'm thinking of voting for the BNP and supporting the British Nationalist Party in the future. Is there any reason, one reason, why I should not vote for the BNP? And at that point, David Cameron said, well, you shouldn't vote for the BNP because the BNP divide communities. After he answered my question, he answered it straight. He didn't attack the policies though. I hasten to add, he didn't say, well, you shouldn't vote for the BNP because they'd never be able to do a budget or the policies are totally crazy. He just basically said because they divide communities. I then at that point said, well, on that subject, David, I don't need to be told or taught by a political party or group about what's going on out there in society. The communities are being divided themselves by the current government's policies. I then asked him, I had a newspaper clipping in my van of Chris Donald, the 15-year-old white lad who was abducted off a Glasgow street and murdered in March 2004. I took the newspaper clipping out of my van, the full page of it from the Sun newspaper from last year when it came to court, and I put it up on the side of my van in front of the cameras, and I said, right, today, which it was today, not last Thursday, Thursday before, we've got a debate on the Jeremy Vine show about black on black crime. And last year we had a debate on black on Asian and Asian on black crime. I said, when are we going to realise that there's racists in all society and people that hate each other, even hate white people? When are we going to have a debate on black and Asian on white crime? And he said, well, they've been caught. I said, I know they've been caught after they fled to Pakistan, three of them, and were eventually brought back to face justice. He says, look, what we need is more police on the streets, which is totally right. But I said to him, in Penistone, where you stood now, there's one policeman on nights for a 75-mile radius. I mean, that is like something from a comedy sketch. After David had gone and walked up the road, his camera crew stopped behind and asked me, the same as you're asking me now, what I thought about David Cameron. And I said, look, at the end of the day, we've had 18 years of Conservative and we've had 11 years of Labour. And when I think of Conservatives, I think of trains being privatised, the sinking of the Belgrano, closing of the pits. This is what I think about. We've had 29 years now, and the state we're at now, I said to his camera crew, we need somebody with morals and principles that really wants to change things and do it. Not just say they're going to do it and another 4 years pass or 8 years pass or 11 years pass. We need something doing about it, because for everybody's sake, for everybody that works in this country and pays taxes, that's what we need. And for everybody that has paid tax, At the moment, there's no future to look forward to. When am I going to retire? I've no idea. I haven't got, and then when I do, what have I got to face? Crime, fear, intimidation. I haven't got a lot of confidence that the current people who are supposed to be doing the jobs are really thinking about me, us, and and everybody else who works out for the country. He asked me what policies attracted me to the BNP, and this is what annoyed me, that it wasn't shown on the telly. I wasn't given my fair say. I trusted them to show it all, and they showed me just saying that Labour had got no credibility.
He said something like, he first of all said vote for Labour, vote for anybody except the BNP.
Right.
And then you said, well, the Labour Party's got no credibility.
They haven't got any credibility anymore.
And he said, well, vote for me then, and turned and walked away.
It can't be right when British, you know, English, Welsh, Scottish and Irish trawlers are parked up. £1 million ships are parked up in Aberdeen, Petehead, Whitby, Scarborough, Brighton. I mean, the list goes on. Plymouth. And you've got Spanish and Russian factory boats scooping all this fish up while our lads have got quotas.
Yep.
They can only catch so many fish, and if they catch the wrong fish and they bring them to shores, they're fined.
Yep.
They have to throw them back dead. What an absolute crazy situation. I mean, is it me?
No,
you know, we've hardly got enough fish at sea, and we've got factory boats off his own seas. I think it's, what is it, 13 or 14 mile off, scooping everything up while his own lads are going bankrupt.
Exactly.
Ridiculous.
I mean,
I'm not happy about that, and that's one of the policies that I do like about the BNP. I want to see farming before all the dales and the Peak District and the lakes has got grass 6, 7, 8 foot high. I want to see farmers and our fishing industry, like Norway, it's a self-sufficient fishing industry in Norway. They have cages where they breed pollock, codling, haddock, you know, sea trout. They look after themselves. I'm not saying we should be selfish. What I'm saying is that our industries should come first every time, and then we can protect the traditions of this country, and fishing is one of them.
Did Mr Cameron address those issues about what his party would be doing, how they would be? I can get from that meeting with yourself and David Cameron is that it's very easy for him to say that the BNP is this, but it's very difficult for him to look at his other policies. And I mean, we have a complete cross-section of policies with this party, and yet they only focus on our immigration policy, which says to me that we've got everything right.
Well, they've messed up and they know it, definitely.
Nice one. Well, thanks for your time, Chris. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much,
Cheers.
Nick.